Hello, everyone. My name is Ouissal, the CEO and founder of ZEDEDA. I'm super excited to welcome you all to ZEDEDA Transform 2021 and to be kicking off the leading edge event in the industry. Following on last year's events and feedback, we have even more content, speakers, sessions, and topics. Before diving deeper, I want to take an opportunity to thank everyone who made this year's event possible. All our speakers today, of which many are our customers, our partners, as well as analysts and other organizations that are tirelessly advancing edge computing. I would also like to thank the ZEDEDA marketing and ecosystem team for all their hard work the last few months on the organization of this event. For this year's ZEDEDA Transform, we have made it a two-day event. We have over 30 sessions in total with 65 organizations represented by 100 speakers. As we look at the event, today's focus will be on a broad set of edge computing topics, ranging from business architecture to technology and real user experiences in deploying edge computing. After this session, we will jump straight into our opening keynote panel led by 451 Research with participation of Microsoft, VMware, SUSE, and ZEDEDA to discuss if edge is really eating the cloud. After that panel discussion, we'll move into 4 tracks where you can pick to attend discussions on specific vertical trends, real use cases of edge computing, technical trends, or business considerations. At the end of the day, we'll gather again today in a general session with an exciting panel discussion with Dell Technologies. Tomorrow will be a very developer and open source oriented day, including demos. We will kick off with an opening keynote on discussing everything edge, followed by a fireside chat with iPixie and Equinix Metal team on distributed bare metal edge clouds. From there, we'll go into 3 tracks. One focus on open source collaboration enablement, another one on open source infrastructure enablement, and a third one expert panels discussing everything open. We will close out the second day with social networking and breakout rooms. All our sessions will be recorded and available for on-demand access, and I hope you are as excited as I am on the lineup and the agenda for the next 2 days. Shifting gears to discuss the state of the market since our last Transform event. We've always believed the shift in adoption of edge computing is inevitable because it's driven by the strong force of data gravity. The center of data gravity has traditionally been in the data center and subsequently in the cloud, but as we connect billions of devices to the network of the edge to collect data from the real physical world, the amount of data these devices generate is surpassing anything we've seen before. In many cases, especially in industrial and other verticals, the data has already been collected, but now it's getting connected, which is why the shift is going so fast. This inevitability is combined with the impossibility of sending all this data in its raw format to the cloud. And that in turn means one simple fact. If we can't get all the data to the cloud, then we need to move the analytics and processing part of the application to the edge of the network. Analysts continue to up their estimates in the last 12 months, with some predicting that 75% of all data will be processed at the edge of the network by 2022, and by 2025, nearly 1/3 of all the workloads in the world will run at the edge. These are staggering numbers and make edge computing one of the largest and fastest shifts we have ever seen in our industry. As edge computing takes off, the architectures needed to enable it are also becoming more clear. We have learned that the edge is not one place or layer. And as a matter of fact, we have learned it's a continuum that spans from field devices, assets, and users all the way back to the cloud and centralized data centers. In particular, we've seen the rise of the distributed edge. Well, what is the distributed edge? The distributed edge is where edge computing is performed very close to these devices, assets, and users. The edge compute runs in environments that are not typical data centers, and instead, this compute is deployed near or embedded in vehicles, well sites, machines, production lines, wind turbines, and other physical assets. The hardware itself often doesn't look like a typical server, and a whole set of new challenges introduced in management, security, and diverse application and device support that are totally new. Ultimately, edge computing solves bandwidth problems, latency problems, and addresses security and privacy concerns. Most of the workloads we've seen today are IoT, AI, 5G universal CPE, and security orientated. And as mentioned before, always talk about extending the cloud paradigm to the edge of the network. So what does ZEDEDA do? Well, we provide orchestration for the distributed edge. Our unique solution is based on open source and enables distributed edge computing for any asset on any hardware supporting any type of application and connecting to any cloud and network. We provide all of this as a service, along with an exciting ecosystem of partners, and most importantly, with a unique zero trust security architecture. We had an incredible year. Whereas our product became generally available last year, we saw some great growth on a number of nodes under management. We also delivered on integration with Azure IoT Edge along with our partner Microsoft. Enabling Kubernetes at the edge is a hot topic, and as part of that, we delivered a very exciting integration with K3s, a lightweight Kubernetes implementation, along with our partner SUSE. From an open source perspective, we've donated EVOS to the Linux Foundation a few years ago. EVOS is a secured, lightweight, Linux-based operating system purpose-built to enable edge computing and orchestration. The project has continued to see great progress in terms of contributors, as well as the number of hardware platforms that's supported on. I'm very pleased with our progress, and I want to thank our customers and partners for their ongoing support. In particular, I wanted to highlight a few exciting real deployments of edge computing we've seen. And for instance, saw several customers deploy us in wind and solar farms to support their renewable energy goals. We also saw great deployments in oil and gas and also in industrial manufacturing, both inside machines and on production lines. Another exciting environment is the automotive service edge, where we see customers deploy edge compute to support the automated software servicing of vehicles, like updating software or pulling data from the vehicles. While we have double-digit number of customers at this point, I'm equally excited about the type of customers. We have 8 global and Fortune 500 customers, more than 5 verticals in deployment, and we have customers that have over 1,000 node deployments underway. Edge is real, and it is happening as we speak. As we look ahead, what are some of the predictions for the edge? Well, to start off, it's evident that 5G is going into large deployment mode, and its benefits to edge computing are significant. The ability to improve network coverage and performance will make it easy to do edge computing everywhere. In addition, the edge ecosystem is coming together closer as we start to rinse and repeat deployments. Edge computing at its core is an ecosystem play, as every deployment is unique and vertical, from the environment to the sensors to the hardware and applications and the cloud. And finally, just like in cloud computing, open source will play a big role in edge computing. We'll continue to see stronger open source collaboration between the different projects and foundations, ultimately creating a better and easier way to deploy software. These 3 drivers will lead to more innovation at the edge, continued deployment of real use cases, new business models, including enable software as a service and everything as a service at the edge. And finally, just like in the cloud, the emergence of marketplaces to make it easier to try, deploy, and buy software for the edge. This is a truly exciting time as we embark on the mission of building the last cloud that needs to be built, the one at the edge. I want to thank you all for joining our event and for your support.